We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Good. 180. Alert, 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 alert.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Kill, 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 kill. Hey, turn it up.
One touch.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Kareem Hunt, the ball
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my boys. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Maggie's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7, Browns nothing. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Let's go one more.
Real.
Check it out.
Regular. One touch.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And now running right through it. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 38-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Guys, double tight. 4 down, check, 4 down. Check.
Hey, alert!
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's first and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hurry! Bang! Rail. Like 28. Here we go.
Mayfield down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 11.
Quick dash. Go. Save.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Graham. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with second and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They will run with Grant. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Jackson, options out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 85 yards as the Ravens push further out in front.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one a first down pickup of 8. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off around the 41, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Here we go. Set. 6 yards. Hey, watch the ball. Watch the ball. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Rush in. Rush in. Rush up.
Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Let's go. It's time to crouch. Check. High seven. Hey, Mike 51.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
I can't believe they even let you play.
On 2nd down now, it's Grant, and he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. Well, I tell you, I thought either the scoreboard was wrong or I was wrong or both. But that was an attempt for a field goal on 3rd down, and it was no good as well.
And I'm trying to wrap what little brain I have around why this would be a good idea. But I cannot come up with a logical explanation for that one.
Yeah, well, my brain's smaller, so I can't. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Micah Hyde. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
King.
First down, Mayfield. And he rifles one incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hey, alert!
To throw, Mayfield. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
It's a foot race. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Corey Grant, an 80-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Again, what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. It was Justin Houston, the native of Statesboro, Georgia, with a sack. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. 21-0 our score after 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Jackson options out left. And avoids the contact by sliding.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
I'm going to run you over.
Here's Jackson to throw. That's complete to his running back, Grant. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. And they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
This one's going toward the sideline. They'll try to play keep away from Beckham. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
X3, 218, chop it. Pistol.
Mayfield gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing, and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a 2nd one, that's on you. And if there's a 3rd one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
Mayfield able to get this one to his tight end, Njoku. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try to put some points on the board.
Here's Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
180. Here we go. Watch tight end. Tight right. 4 down. Point it right. Check number 6. Shoot.
They'll toss it to Hunt. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. A gain there of 21 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit, because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week, took him all the way to the 2nd quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After 1 quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we got this. Oh, no, you don't. You got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Check 26. Kings. Hey, Foxtrot. Alert.
Here's Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 12-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Mayfield to throw it. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
It's second down and 10.
180. Mike 40, Mike 40. Kings.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
180. Check in. I'm here all day.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
A 36-yard attempt.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And able to take it past the 20 a little bit, but no further. A flag in there as well. Let's see what this is.
Let's go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Grant. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Coming to you.
Jackson options out left. He may try and run for this. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
First down, Baltimore.
Set, hut. Tuscan. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go.
They'll run on first down. Grant. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, Heavy. What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. 25. Check 25. Check 25. Kill.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. This will be caught by Brown. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Got it. Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Marquise Brown in the final seconds of the first half as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Hey, watch out.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. Go to base. Echo. It's the curls. 51's the mic, boys. 51. I got one.
Now Jackson on first down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Let it go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. Come on. Hey, Mike 51. Watch the curl.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Steps away. 20. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
No, I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Jet, Bomber. Mike 22. Jet, Bomber. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
Second and 10. Here's Jackson again. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's third and 10.
51. Let's go. 51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Jackson from the shotgun. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Josh Jones. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Hey, alert!
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we? Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
They go play action. Mayfield. That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a third and 12.
You're not ready. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the regular. Hey.
On third down, Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Returnable for Grant. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10.
Ready.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hey, let's go. Let's calm the crowd. Let's go, D. Big series right here. So we got to step it up.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
To throw is Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Ravens 35, Browns 3. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Run. 27, I'm coming.
Hey, high 7.
Let's go, D.
Up.
Dudes.
Throwing, Mayfield. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. J.J. Watt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here comes Grant on the return. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. An impressive punt return of 76 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Set.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could...
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Hakeem Butler, 83 yards. And the Browns able to get this one back to within at least some measure of respectability. Gonzalez good on the extra point. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. And we're back now here in Cleveland, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
Yeah. It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction, because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense. Special teams. They put it all together. And I gotta tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Ready.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
He'll
have a first down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Here we go, set. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Ricky. Wide.
Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
What's tight? Tight is right. Hey, we are.
They'll drop the throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Seam six.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now Mayfield looking deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Cleveland. 54 yards. So even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
At the 18-yard line.
180.
Hey, come on, no, come on, no.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Right there.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Good. 20.
I don't think you got it, son.
Run. Check.
Tight dog.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 2nd and goal from the 1. Mayfield looks to throw. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Gonzalez to add the PAT. And that will cut this lead down to 25.
Makes the score Ravens 42, Browns 17.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. The end result, 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. That one goes for 30 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long. And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And they take a knee.
Ready, set. 51's the mic. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.